Hello, everyone, and welcome to Footy Abroad.
What a
It is
copycat.
Tuesday, the 6th of August, 2024, and we are here after round 21. I'm here with my esteemed guests, Jake from Saints TV. Hello, Jake.
Hey, mate. Hey, mate. Hey, everyone watching at home.
Hello. And I'm here with Swoop Luke. Hello, Swoop Luke.
Boys, just taking a leaf out of Jake's book. It's not every day that my team wins and everyone else loses, which is very nice, especially recently.
Oh, God. I thought I'd be able to hold it together.
That's it. That's all.
You got
that's all
this.
done.
You got this.
That's all done now.
I fucking hate football.
Oh,
How are we, lads? Are we good?
good. Battling a bit of a flu, but good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an interesting round of football for a number of reasons. Maybe we'll start with you, Luke, because why not? How'd your team go? What was the story?
It was it was good. It was a good win. It's weird to have a win where fate isn't in our hands. So long it's us coming from behind. It's Jamie Elliott kicking after the siren, etc. So fate was really out of our hands, and it was a different experience, but a welcomed experience. And it was all the footy gods with for Scott Pellenbury's 400th, but I've got a video going up in a couple of days of my reaction throughout that last quarter. And I was saying that it was just because it was football karma. Like what we've done to Carlton these last couple of years, I thought this is it. This makes sense that McGovern's going to hit it. They've scored 6 or something goals in that last quarter. It was a fantastic last quarter. And I thought this is football karma. This is what we get. But yeah, it was a good win. It was a good win.
It was a good win. Does it? Does it start momentum now? Like, does it build confidence for what's possible?
It does, but still, like we could win the next 3 games and still miss the 8 because everyone is so close. Hawks, you guys, Giants, Doggies, and we've got a shit percentage. Bombers as well. Our percentage is really bad. So it probably doesn't hold us in good stead. We did it to ourselves. Like I've said a bunch of times, if you have to start doing the ladder predictor, if you have to start getting math into the equation, or relying on other teams, you've kicked yourself in the ass. You know what I mean? So it builds momentum for 2025, but we'll see against absolutely ravaged Sydney on Friday night at the SCG. Should be a good game.
Yeah. Jake, how'd your team go? What was the story?
I think it was just a battle of a 14th place team against the best team in the land, the most informed team, the flag favourites flexing their muscle. They're very, very good. Brisbane are very, very good, and we're not at that level at all. And I thought we were going to be more competitive than that, to be honest. Our form had been pretty good up until that point. But that was some of the slickest football I've watched this year against us. That was the best performance probably Brisbane's put together in a while. I know they pantsed Port away, but this was flawless. And all of their players are finding form at the right time. And they're going to be hard to beat. That's 8 or 9 in a row now for them. It's just a bit of a reality check for us. You know, we've been up for a couple of weeks. Beating Sydney, although their form shows they're not playing as well as they used to. Beat Essendon, which was good. But our intensity wasn't there. And when your intensity's not there against a team like Brisbane, they're going to rip you to shreds. And that's what they did. So now it's on us to bounce back against Richmond. We've gone from playing the best team in the land to the last place team. So it's all about that mentality now of how do you pick yourself up and motivate yourself to beat a team you should beat off the back of your biggest loss of the season. So that's what I'm most intrigued about this week.
Nice. So the Blues. It's been a tough couple of days. This one hurts a lot. I feel like I'm emotionally exhausted. Not so much from the game, but probably more so from the post-game reaction and just everyone's feelings and emotions, and everyone copes differently. And I've lived through everyone's reaction and taken that on. And I'm exhausted, if I'm honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Wasteful early, very poor in the second and third quarters. To Collingwood's credit, they just were braver for longer, is the way I would quickly summarize it. The game against Collingwood, any game against Collingwood, the game requires you to be brave and play in chaos almost. Your structure almost goes out the window, and you've just got to go for it. And Collingwood were just willing to do that for longer, and in the end, they were rewarded. I think, I don't really blame McGovern. I blame so many other moments earlier in the game that just how many times did we hit the post or didn't give an extra handball, or just, I've never seen Harry and Charlie to both play that poorly in a game of football together. Like usually maybe one will have an off game and the other one will step up. But you just have to give full credit to Collingwood, and that's the way it goes, and that's sport. And you can't be a sore loser. I think the moment that sticks in my head, I don't know if it really was an important moment in the game, but I think when we were trying to get some momentum late in the third, Pendlebury literally intercepts this handball from Patrick Cripps. Like he's just sort of like read it, like 2 handballs before it happened. And I'm like, fuck, like it's just not it. And what can I say? Go Pies. Well done.
Do you take a little bit out of that last quarter though? Because that was a fantastic last quarter.
Okay. So 12 minutes 22, Pendles kicks the ball down the line to Wiedering, and Wiedering, like for a split second, hesitates. And I was pretty confident we were going to win the entire time. I was just waiting for us to start going, just stop hesitating.
Yeah.
Wiedering kicks it back down the line. It goes to the 50-meter arc. Pendles is in front of it, but Harry causes the spillage. Then the ball sort of gets to Jeremy Howe. Jeremy Howe kicks it back down the line. Wiedering takes a one-handed mark, and then he doesn't hesitate, and he goes.
Yeah.
And he hits Blake Acres in the center. Blake then hits Jack Martin, who hits Owies, who misses, right? But the point was that it was only until then did we actually unlock that courage.
Yeah.
And I hate, like I'm going to be very careful to say, the word cowardice or weak, but it's just, I'm seeing our group not be brave and not buy into the fear and not embrace the fear of making the mistake. And we're just waiting way too long to activate that. And I don't know what we're waiting for. I believe it's all there. I believe in the group, and I'm really starting to question whether I've just got it completely wrong and the group isn't what I thought. But they had built the credits in the bank, and it's like I'm just waiting for them to start playing with the same urgency that these other teams in the 8 are playing with, and I'm not seeing it for long enough. And it's starting to get to me, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think it's a good thing. It's supposed to be uncertain. But that could also be the story that I'm telling myself to cope. So,
yeah. Because from a Pies perspective, it felt like watching that last. So we scored that first goal, obviously. So it's like 31 points or whatever it was. Then you scored like the next 2, and I'm like, they're fucking on here. Like you could feel it. You could feel the momentum shift in the crowd, like especially where we were all Collingwood supporters. They just went back into their shell. You could see the Pies just switch onto this defensive mode. So they tried to save the game when they were 5 goals up. And it's like, and we did it we've done it a couple of times, especially against like Fremantle, Gold Coast when we were up by a little bit. A couple of other times where we've just gone on to either lose or draw. And I felt like Carlton just smelt blood in the water, and then they kick whatever it was, 5 or 6 goals straight. Couple of, we're so good at stopping the ball, stopping the momentum, creating stoppages, but Carlton just saw right through that and just sort of came out. I know obviously you guys didn't get to win, but I'd take something out of it. It looked like the Carlton that were dominating at the start of the season.
Honestly,
it's just a team that's chasing though, right? And has got nothing to lose. That's how I saw it, to be honest. I wouldn't have read too much into that. That's me being devil's advocate. It just looks like Collingwood were a little cooked. And what other option did Carlton have? That's how I saw it. That's the only option they had was to go. And things fell their way. I don't necessarily think they changed. I mean, they went for some more aggressive kicks, but I think that's just a team chasing, right? That's a team with nothing to lose, with no pressure. The issue is to start like that.
Yeah.
When it's 0-0, not when you're 31 down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kick 5 behinds to start the game, and then Collingwood kick a goal from that kick in. Like Elijah just misses Dacos for the splittest of seconds. He turns his head, and Dacos is like right behind him, and then it goes end to hand. I think he kicks that goal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought the first quarter we were the better team in terms of the way the game was played, but it didn't matter because it was a draw at quarter time, and then Pies they just got the ball moving, and they just like they wanted to play this brave, chaotic game, and Carlton wanted to try and play this like methodical style, and I'm like, that's not us. that's not Carlton. When we're playing on instinct is when we're playing at our best. And, you know, you got Charlie Curnow who's double teamed all night, but it's like, that's happening. So why don't you, I mean, you've got Harry. So it was just bizarre that we couldn't, like people will say Carlton are predictable because we know we're going to go to Charlie Curnow most of the time. And that's fair enough. I think from Carlton's point of view, well, when are we going to flip that narrative and say, well, we know teams are going to double team Charlie. So why doesn't that mean that someone else can be free and find that hole? And it just feels like we cannot find that hole. And that's footy. Best team won on the night, and that was the Pies. And they keep doing it. I think they've won 22 of the last 29 occasions, something like that.
Thanks.
Well done.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to gloat too much about it. It was a good win. But
You should gloat.
especially-
You should enjoy it.
No, I gloated enough, especially coming up against it's for Pendles. Getting up for Pendles is probably the biggest thing for us. And just also we probably should mention Tom Hawkins and fucking Dustin Martin calling season done.
Yeah.
It just feels like the end of an era, and it leaves weird feeling in my stomach.
Is it weird that? What'd you think when Dusty announced it and then Tom Hawkins announced it on the same day? Couldn't they have? I know,
split the days.
It's just weird. No one's really talking about Tom Hawkins, and he's one of the all-time greats, to be honest. Yeah. Everyone's talking about Dusty. It just seems like, unless that's what he wants, and it's just let's have just low-key do it. But I just thought it was weird timing. And then there's rumors on Twitter, who else was it that was going to steal Sidebottom? They were talking about on Twitter. He's gonna call time. So it's like, what? Everyone's just decided, let's announce it all together. Or I just thought it was weird. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just thought, well, Tom Hawkins deserves a whole day to himself. Praise as well. Yeah, and I just thought, why would people bring that up now?
I think
when one of the greatest players ever has just called it. It was odd.
Typical Geelong, just selfless.
And we play Richmond this week, so they'll be up and about, and their home game at Marvel, so that's perfect. And then we play Geelong at Marvel, so they'll be up and about for Tomahawk there as well. So, and then Carlton might be playing for finals in the last game. So, who says there's nothing to play for?
Big end to the season. Big end to the season.
Play for.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to get through that end of the season, no doubt about that. Stick around, ladies and gents, because at some point tonight we're going to do the ladder predictor amongst the three of us for the rest of the season. So we're gonna play it out, and because there's three of us, there will be a determining vote. I
was going to say
yeah.
So we're going to find out who wins the flag thanks to the three of us. This is a weird request, but is it going to be all right?
What's going to be all right, Terry?
Is Carlton cooked, or are we going to be okay?
You'll know this week.
No, I want to know now. I want to know now.
How can you not be okay with such a? You guys are a good team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm less positive than Swoop, but more in the way that I've never fully delved into the list profile until this week of Carlton. And it's almost like you're polar opposites to us. We've got way too many outside runners, quick players. And then I looked at Carlton and I'm like, unless they win the contested ball, unless it's a contested game where they're getting clearance after clearance, like even your outside players aren't quick. They're just endurance beasts. Like Blake Acres is not quick. He can just run all day. Same with Hollands, run all day. I'm trying to think of like absolute line breakers, and I think that's probably the biggest weakness that Carlton has is genuine leg speed. I think that's probably the main focus. I don't know, maybe you disagree, Terry, and other Carlton fans watching, but
No, it's true.
Whereas we're the opposite. We don't have that midfield grunt. I mean, we have it with Steele, but not in that top tier. But on the outside, we've got it. But Carlton just seem slow if they're not winning a clearance. If they're not first use, I think is probably like Brisbane have got the perfect balance of both. And that's where I think they're absolutely clear from every team is they've got the inside, they've got the outside, and they've got the forward line and the back line with arguably the best fullback in the comp. That's what my Brisbane mate tells me. But
who Wieders is pretty good.
Harris Andrews.
Collingwood supporters around me were absolutely marveling at Jacob Wiedering on
He was
Saturday
very
night.
good. So was Harris Andrews, but Harris Andrews didn't have much competition in that Saints forward line, to be
Both
honest.
of them.
But
I mean, they were both good. You know what? Saturday, now that I look back on it, it was a Darcy Moore, Jacob Wiedering masterclass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Darcy Moore keeping Curnow to 0 goals was huge. Obviously, Billy Frampton had a little bit to say as well, which is just ironic, which is funny. But Darcy Moore's starting to come into form a little bit, which is good. Bit fucking too late, but it's good to see that he's sort of backing himself in. But like the thing that pisses me off the most is we know that Wiedering and McGovern was doing it as well, and I think it was Kemp. Just you smash it in, they're gonna mark it. Just lower your fucking eyes. Like that was frustrating me so much. It just comes back out, like you said before. Comes out, they mark it. Comes back, we mark it. It was like ping pong.
Yeah.
It's just really, really annoying football. Especially going up against one of the better defenders in the league.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the story, boys. That's the Blues. I've got a bit of the Blues today. I'll tell you that much.
Giga Chad's he's enjoying it in the chat.
Yeah, mate. You know what?
Bit too much, Giga Chad.
Collingwood supporters watching, enjoy it. You should enjoy it because I would also be enjoying it if it was the other way around. So
yeah.
Sometimes you just got to cop it on the chin because you know what? That's life. So
that's life.
So philosophical as always.
Give me 15 minutes and I'll be back on my bullshit. Just have to feel a little bit sorry for myself.
Yeah. Once we hit the topics, you'll be right.
Yeah. Speaking of, Jake?
Yeah.
Want to kick us off, mate?
Yeah. To be honest, boys, I was struggling this week to think of a genuine topic. And I don't know how I came across this one, but I think we've talked about it, or at least in the chat, there's always been, you guys have referred to like rent-free moments, Collingwood, Carlton. There's always a moment in those games that stick with you. And I just wanted to put it to the chat to you both about what are the obscure rent-free moments that live in your head that you can relive over and over again in 10 years, 20 years. What are those moments, whether they're good or bad, that will stick with you forever? And the more obscure, the better. So put it in the chat as well. If it's a random goal or sometimes it's meaningless stuff. Maybe you don't even win the game, but it's something in the game that you can just remember. And for me, I've got like 3 key ones, 2 of which actually 2 out of the 3 we lost. That's how obscure they are. But the first one being Mav Weller kicking 3 goals in, I think, the first Maddies match in 2015. And he kicked one when he collected the ball halfway through the last in the center circle and ran the whole field and kicked a goal. And all I remember from that is Eddie Maguire's commentary and how good it was. We lost that game, but it was like clutch moment. And Mav Weller is like one of those players where it's like could have been someone. I think we traded him to Richmond and just kind of drifted into obscurity. And then the other is Troy Schwartz's goal in 2004 against the Lions. Have you guys seen that goal? I know you're not a Sainer, but
it came up on
I think you can.
Stream the other day.
It's like just one of those games where like if you're there, you can't believe that just happened, right? Like just that. And then I think most Sainers will agree this one's one that actually hurts, but I'm not talking grand finals or anything. 2017, we're 11 points up with 1 minute to go against Port away. 11 up, 1 minute to go, and we lose. And that cost us finals in 2017.
Oh, shit.
Paddy Ryder, everyone knows. Paddy Ryder out the back. Robbie Gray kicks a goal with about 8 seconds to go, and we lose.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
I remember thinking, typical Saints. That was the most saintly thing that could ever happen, and we didn't make finals from that point on. There's plenty here, which is good. Meeting sweep on Saturday.
Yes. I got this photo sent to me.
J
J-Bag
Baggers.
is on the way to. I was on the way to Pink Lemonade.
Do you want me to tell you a story about J Baggers? So you see
Tell
this
me.
see this poster here?
Yeah.
His little boy sent it to me.
Yeah.
So when you guys knocked us out of finals in 2022, do you know the story of, have I ever told you the story about I was walking to the station and there was a little boy crying with his dad in his arms?
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, so I see this little boy crying and his dad's hugging him, and I just like go up to the little boy and just give him a massive hug, and the three of us are hugging. It's J Baggers. We've been really good friends ever since.
So good. Yeah, I took a. He goes, I need to get a photo with you. I'm like, oh, cool. And then take the photo, and he shows me. He's like, oh, look, my best mate just texted me, and it was a text from. It was a text from you. Actually, Ben Parsons. That when you said a goal that something that lives rent free in your head. I literally had it written down here.
Show us the Mav Weller goal, Terry. We've got to give him some representation.
The Mav Weller goal or the Schwartz goal?
Well, I think the Mav Weller one's more obscure. So maybe, I mean, more people have probably seen Schwartz. They're both good. I'll let you decide. I'm not putting Robbie Gray's one in. You want to see? Yeah, put Schwartz in there. It's always a good watch. It's the loudest. I reckon at the time, I think it was Telstra Dome. The loudest it would have been.
The Dome.
All right.
The Dome, mate. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, this is the best.
The way round. Now the ball's loose. It gives St Kilda a rough chance. Black.
I love that everything had to be perfect at this moment.
Schwartz now. The defender can run. And from a long way.
55.
What makes it is Tim Lane. Channel 10's coverage was elite back then. Tim Lane, Quartermain. It was so good. And what a game that was.
And what a controversial point it will be.
And I remember that because Ozzie Jones kicked the point. They say controversial point. Ozzie Jones, before that goal, had shanked it, and it looked like it went out on the full. And someone, I think Robert Walls was behind the goals, and he's like, that was definitely out on the full. Before technology, gave us a point anyway. Troy Schwartz kicks that, and we win by that point. So it was nuts.
Before crypto. Before
crypto came on, it was the Troy Schwartz show.
Yeah.
Bad 2018 DeGoey's goal. Was that the snap from DeGoey? That goal? That's one of the.
That was the.
Which one?
No, was the handball.
The hand of God.
50. Yeah.
I'm thinking of 2018 when he snaps it in the first quarter, and the crowd goes nuts. That was so good to watch live.
Crazy.
Zach Bailey.
Yeah, my Brent Freeze was exactly like Ben Parsons, that Jack Higgins goal of the year where he literally just throws the ball, and he gets goal of the year for that one. Is that one, and another one is I just had it and I just lost it because I'm trying not to do grand finals.
Yeah, it's hard when it's not an obvious moment.
Yeah. Oh, Ben just reminded me. So Grundy, against you guys probably remember it. The prelim against the Giants in 2019, where we lost by 5 points. At one point, it's down next to the Giants' goals, and it's a ruck contest between Finlayson and Brodie Grundy, and Finlayson just two-handed right in the back, shoves Grundy out of the ruck contest because it's a throw-in, shoves him right out, picks up the ball because he's got no one to compete against, snaps it, and then we lose by 4 or 5 points or something. So that every time, it's so funny you say Brent Free because every time I see a free kick in the ruck contest for that, the pushing, the hands in the back, I thought, well, they didn't fucking give it to us in 2019, did they? And that's literally just festering in my mind.
There's
rent-free moments. Okay.
Yeah. It's like,
so
what is that?
Patrick Dangerfield breaking Mark Murphy's collarbone. Sam Lonergan also breaking a collarbone of Andrew Carazzo. Never forget when it happened. Matthew Cruiser doing his first knee. Never forget when that happened. Robbie Gray kicking a goal after the siren. Jamie Elliott breaking my heart. Yeah.
Some good moments there.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Gary gone Fev, that would be another one for me.
Yeah.
Just that matchup was so random. How could you forget it?
Yeah. I think another one that's not Collingwood related is the Carlton was it the Carlton Brisbane game where it was the battle of 100 goals? Was it
You mean
no,
that was
it
Carlton Hawthorn. That was Carlton
Sorry,
Hawthorn.
Carlton Hawthorn. Sorry, yes. It was for Vola and Buddy, right? And then Clarko just couldn't give it to Fev.
Yeah,
Stuck on the line. That's literally just fucking rent free. That I still can't believe that. It would have been. I don't know if it would have been history making, but that I think about that a couple times a month. It's that's one rent free. That's not my team.
Yeah. The final siren after we beat the D's in the semi-final. Like I know the Blake Acres goal was a moment, but the final siren when we beat the D's and we'll go on a prelim is the best moment of my footy supporting life.
Yeah.
Like
that
period. Yeah.
I think, yeah. Oh no, prelim.
30 something years of like pent up, or let's just say 20, because the first 10 years of my life I don't really remember, but like 20 something years and plus 5 or 6 years of doing this like intensely, all built up, and like you go into a prelim and I had a full out of body experience. My face went purple. I was screaming like I was releasing a scream like I've never done before. It was good. It was
that
special.
First finals win when you're there, whether it's like a semi to go into the prelim or when you win the prelim and you realize you're in it. Like this whole next week is going to be crazy. Like every day. Like that's stuff you don't forget.
Yeah.
Ever. 09 prelim, final siren.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard for it not the rent free the good stuff not to be finals.
Yeah.
You know.
It is.
Even that first final that Carlton won last year was really good.
Against the Swans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was nuts.
That was fantastic as well.
Yeah. To be honest, the whole final series last year, like Carlton's was full of moments.
Yeah.
Plenty in the chat though, which is good. Oh yeah, the Cyril v Jetta rundown on the wing.
Oh, true. That's iconic.
That was a good one. Clint Jones tackling Lance Franklin in 2008, round 18 or 19. That was nuts.
Wait, what are your moments against our teams? So like, I mean,
Carlton?
Jamie Elliott is the bad one against Collingwood. Obviously, trying to think of like a really good one against Collingwood.
A bad one for me against Carlton would be that Sam Walsh goal in 2021. Yeah,
true.
That pops to mind.
Oh, that was the watch along night. You and Pommy.
Yeah, that's why it's run free in my fucking head. Yeah.
I think Saints and Carlton have had that many huge games. I mean, last year pissed me off. Last year I felt sick after that game because we were up the whole game, back end of the season, and we were up and looking comfortable. And then Carlton had that last quarter blitz and we lost. That was annoying. But so 2019?
No, this was do you remember this game? It was late in the season, 55,000 at the MCG, both teams out of finals.
Oh, was this you had a new coach, his first game, right? Or something?
This was no, that was he was a few games into it, David Teague. This was a very iconic. How about the Baggers? Actually, funnily enough, I think Steven's in the chat. He's here. Yeah.
I definitely remember this.
Yeah. If you're a Blue or Broad watcher, it's an iconic moment.
But the best would be 04, round 10. We kicked 31 goals 10, and we kicked 12 goals 1 in the second quarter. That was the Fev Gary day, and Gary kicked 5 in the first, and we kicked 196 for the game. I was fuming that we didn't hit 200. Imagine that, being upset that you didn't hit 200.
True.
Good day, that
oh my God, I take mine back. I take all of my moments back. The one moment against Collingwood. So this is the last time Pommy was at a game, round 2, 2021. There's a photo of him. There's like a still. He's in the crowd. I think he was standing in the cheer squad, and the disgust on his face.
No way. I have to see this
Oh
photo.
my
That's so
God.
funny.
Unbelievable. It's the last time he went to a game.
That's so
yeah,
good.
that also lives rent free.
Yeah, there's too many moments.
Lots of good moments. Lots of
Yeah.
absolutely good
Lots
moments.
of good moments. Yeah.
Oh, don't put Giga Chad's comment up. Don't put that one there. We'll ignore that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Bobby.
Oh my God.
Oh dear. All right. Very good. Luke,
Yeah.
what have you got?
So I wanted to talk about Wildcard round, or whatever they're going to sort of call it, Wildcard weekend, or so it's been pretty much not confirmed, but it taken to the bank sort of stuff, as much as you sort of want to believe it. They've been in talks for doing it for the last couple of years. They do it in the VFL. So in the VFL wildcard round, because there's so many teams now, 7th hosts 10th, 8th hosts 9th. So it's a knockout. So before the finals, and then the highest ranked winner faces 6th in elimination final, and then lowest ranked winner faces 5. So pretty much it's, I guess, technically a top 10, and then 7, 8, 9, and 10 fight off for the first week of finals, which I think is pretty good. I know a lot of people are saying it's going to Americanize the game and, keep it how it is. But, if you're thinking of it from an AFL perspective, it's one extra week of pre-finals, finals, and elimination final. Everyone's going to be up and about. It's an extra week of seeing your team. You still got a chance if you're 9th or 10th. But when you think about it, if you're 10th and you end up versing the team that's 5th, you probably don't have a chance in that final anyway. It could be good for an underdog story. I think it's a really cool idea. They haven't said how they're going to sort of do it, but I dare say it will probably be like the VFL. Because you got to think that we've got Tasmania coming in 4 years, and more than likely there will be a 20th team, just so we don't have a bye every single week. So there can't be a top 10. So I think the wildcard round will be that sort of top 10 to make everything even. What are your thoughts?
I'm a no. I think it's a good argument when the season is the season we're having and it looks so even, and the gap between even 4 to 10 is like 2 games or whatever it might be. But generally, it's not the case. And I feel like if I was 7th and I was 3 or so games clear of 10th and I have to play 10th, I'd be thinking, we've done it in the 20 games that we've been given. We deserve to be here. Why do we have to verse 10th? Yeah, I think in specific situations it makes sense, or at least it looks good on paper. But I feel like, you go back to 4 or 5 years ago and you look at the ladder at the end of the year, the gap, like 7th was like 3 or 4 games clear of 10th.
Yeah.
Are we really putting them together? Are we really saying 10th deserves to be on the same level as 7th, who's done the job for 23 weeks, who's made finals, who's been the better team out of those teams under them, and you're putting them against each other? That to me is a money grab. That's just another week. It's money, and it's not about making finals any more interesting or anything like that. It's just an additional game, more crowds, and more money. I think
footy,
if you can't...
more competitive footy, don't you think?
Nah, if we've got 23, 24 weeks of that already, if your team's not good enough to be in the 8 by that point, you don't deserve to be there.
But what about when there's 20 teams, though? That's 12 teams.
When did top 8 start in this league?
So
good question.
The top 4 started in 2000. So with the top 8, so top 8 was I think it was, I looked it up the other day. It was in the 90s. It was top 5.
1990. Hang on. The AFL introduced a system in 2000 to address several perceived issues with the McIntyre Final 8 system.
Yeah, so that's the top 4 in the top 8 in 2000.
Does anybody in the chat know when did the top 8 system start? And yes, I wanted to ask another question. Those of you who remember 96. Top 4 coming in and how that changed.
Wood's Toon data says 96.
96. So I want to kind of get the mentality. What was the thought at the time when they brought in top 8? And then what was the thought at the time when they brought in top 4 and they changed the system? Was the pushback naturally there as well?
Well, probably because when they had it before the top 4 system in 2000, they had first versus 8th, and then second versus 7th, third versus 6th, etc., etc. So and you weren't getting any advantage. So with the top 4 system in 2000 when it was brought in, you were getting, that extra week break. The top 4 were versing each other, and the other was a elimination.
Right. There were 16 teams in 96. Yeah.
Let's look.
I love it. I love it because I've seen how much it adds to a sport. And I don't think this is a case of Americanizing the game, because it happens in many sports, and also with 20 teams, eventually it's going to make sense. I just think it gives a little bit more drama and a little bit more competitive juice as we get to the back end of the season. Would you agree that most teams who finish 7th or 8th probably don't expect to win the flag anyway? Because generally speaking, you've got to be in the top 4 to win a flag. Isn't that the general consensus? Or what does it matter if you're 7th? Like, you're probably making up the numbers anyway, statistically speaking, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think it's a classic example of something that will get pushed back, and then it'll happen eventually, whether it's next year or whenever. And then a year or 2 into it, people will fucking love it.
What? Because you watch the NBA, right? You're a big NBA fan.
Yeah.
So how does because they do a wildcard round as well, don't they, before the playoffs?
They do, yeah, for the 8th spot. It's actually incredible. It like heightens the season in the early parts of the playoffs when you're just kind of like getting through it. I just think I was a skeptic as well with the NBA, because I'm like, tradition and all of this, and then you see it happen, and then it just brings more competitive games in the back end of the year. Teams aren't giving up, so to speak. You're essentially giving more teams hope of making it.
Imagine it happened in 2016. Bulldogs were 7th on 15 wins.
Yeah.
Port were 10th with 10. You're saying they deserve to play each other? It's 5 games difference, mate. They're clearly...
No. You're looking back. You got to look ahead.
I still think that finals is special. Finals is the best teams, right? So why should half the league make it? Half the league deserves to make it?
No, I don't think it is half the league making it. It wouldn't be the top 10.
Well, it's the top 10.
No, that's not. No. You'd be fighting. You'd still be fighting. Yeah.
For that 7th and 8th spot, pretty much.
You'd have
It's
another week where the teams that are like 9th and 10th play off against what, 7th and 8th?
Yeah.
So if we keep adding more teams, then we just keep adding more finals? Like, what if we just keep adding more teams?
No, you just added wildcard round. It's staying as a top 8. You're doing like a mini playoff for the top 8.
I like the finals the way it is. I personally, would just leave it. I don't
if you were 10th, if you were 9th as the Saints, if you finished 9th or 10th, you would just boycott and not get involved, and you'd be like, nah, it goes against the tradition of the game. I don't want to participate.
No, like, they can do what they want, and I'm not saying I wouldn't watch, but I'm just saying I just think top 8 is the top 8. I think the format is the format, and if you don't make it, that's it. You've got 23 weeks. You've got March to September, March to end of August to be good enough. Are you telling me you need more? You need an extra game for it?
Yeah, but sometimes unfair things happen to teams in a season, things that are just out of their control, injuries to certain players, or, just unlucky things that happen that are unfortunately.
But isn't that something you would just say every other week, where it's, well, just get better, or that's just football, that's just the game? So...
Like, look at it
again.
Look at it.
Not top 10. You got to it's not.
Yeah, I get it. It's a wild card to then get in. Yeah.
So look at it this year, right? So Hawthorn lose the first 5 games, and then they start pumping up, and they got all this momentum. They finished 9th, and Collingwood, for example, all of those. So at one point, injury list of 17. How can you expect to make finals as a rating premier? They finish 10th, and like, say we knock off Carlton, we win the next 3 games, we've got all this momentum, and we finish 10th or 9th, whatever it is. Now we can take that momentum into versing the Bulldogs or versing the Giants or whoever is 7th or 8th, and then imagine Carlton knocking out the Pies 7th versus 10th, or vice versa, and then them solidifying their spot in the top 8, and then the week starts again. I think. Look, I can understand where you're coming from,
And like,
and it is a money grab ish, but I reckon it's sick.
By the same token, though, you could say, well, Hawthorn, you stuffed your chances by starting 0-5. Why do you need to get
I had bulk injuries to their list. All like Day. How many of them? A lot of them were injured to start the year. We should
I'm firmly
clip it and send it to us in 2 years' time. Is that possible? Because I guarantee people will fucking gobble it up. They'll love it.
Don't we say that the season's long enough as it is? Haven't people said that?
Oh, it'll be the pre-finals bye.
Yeah.
It'll be the pre-finals bye. So there'll be a bye for the 6 teams that have earned their spot. But I was just looking at the NBA. So
Come on, Jake, you'll love it.
Nah,
you will.
I don't care about the NBA. Honestly, I don't watch it. This is football. This is the way it is. You don't make top 8. You don't make top 8. Like, it's as simple as that. Some things are just better left. I don't know why we have to try and add or change so many things.
He's gonna love it.
I can't wait for the asterisk next to St Kilda's premiership when they come from 10th, and there's an asterisk, and I'll be like, Jake, you're not going to fucking celebrate, mate.
It's not going to happen.
No, Jake, you didn't want this, mate.
Give it back. Give it back to him.
I just don't. I don't see the point. I feel like there's that many chances. Every team has the same amount of games already. We all go through injuries at different points, but it adds up. We all have our troubles. Momentum shifts. Like, we've seen that with Sydney. We've seen that with Hawthorn. We've seen that with Carlton. That's the season.
But Jake, you get another chance,
How many chances do you get? You get 23. You get 23.
You're going to
love it. You get 23.
This is foreshadowing. This is 100% foreshadowing.
You reckon this is going to be clipped when we win the flag?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
From 10.
You know what?
10.
I don't know. I need a bit more convincing, but I'm pretty happy with how everything is, and I like the chase. Dave. I like that round 23 or 24 could be a chance for Carlton to miss or make it. I love that extra drama. This extra round, that drama's really gone.
It's only an extra round for a couple of teams.
Yeah, but it would be maybe for Carlton, right? Whereas you're playing us to make it, but this game becomes meaningless then. Then there's more dead rubbers in round 23, 24, because those teams might think, well, we've got the wild card round to worry about anyway. Whereas this is like but the teams like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here.
Yeah, they're still fighting for position at round 24. Like they'll still be fighting for a top 4 spot, or a 5th spot, or a 6th spot to stay out of the wild card, or whatever.
But it's still a wild card. They'll still see that as, we've still kind of made it because we'll just back ourselves we'll tank the last game, rest a few players, bring them in for the wild card round, and then we're through. I just think there's, I don't know. Nah. Maybe another week you'll get me, but not tonight.
Jake, what about if it was 8th versus 9th, and that was the wild card, and there wasn't 4 teams involved? It was just 8th versus 9th. The 9th's obviously mostly on the precipice of it anyway. They're probably 1 or 2 games out. And it's not 10th being 3 games out of the 8.
Well, that's my biggest issue is we're saying 10th and 7th or whatever should play each other. I disagree with that. 8th and 9th, I don't mind. I think that's interesting. I think that could be cool. Like right now it's Carlton v Essendon and it's 1 game and it's a lot of percentage. It's 2 points difference, right? It's a draw, really separating the two. That's more interesting than 7th. Like 8th and 9th to get in is interesting, but I think 7th really deserve to be there. I think 7th's pretty comfortably in the best teams in the comp.
So
like right now it's the Dogs, why should
by 1 game.
By 1 game, I know that, but I'm just saying like by the end of the season, let's give it 2 or 3 more rounds. It might be a bigger gap.
I didn't see the answers. So those of you who were alive when they brought in top 4 system, do you remember before and after? Because if you think about it, why should first play 4th? We've earned the right to play the 8th place team in the finals, and now you're going to make it harder for us. And
imagine it being 1v8, 2v7.
So was that the rhetoric as well? Those of you who were around and you remember 2000 and the new top 4 system coming in.
They should actually just let first pick who they want to play, the venue and time, and they can control the entirety of the first final. I reckon
Yeah.
they just let them do that. So right now, Sydney can just look and go, who's the team out of form that we want to play? And actually, everyone under them is actually in better form than Sydney, so they probably...
So
Yeah, Sydney
Essendon,
wouldn't want to play anyone in the A right now.
wow, Essendon scored 198 points in the qualifying final in 2000. What the fuck?
Did they?
They played the Kangaroos in a qualifying final. The other qualifying final was Brisbane, who beat the Dogs. So that was just fine. First beat fourth, and second beat third.
I don't mind Matt Lang's comment, wildcard only if they're level on points. If 8th and 9th can't be split and it's just percentage, that would be interesting. I don't
Will you
mind
play
that.
another game?
If you're level on points, like if Carlton and Essendon end up on... I mean, Essendon have got the draw, but just assuming they don't, they end up on the same points. An extra game to decide who gets in, I don't mind that at all.
Do
I
you
think that's
guys know?
interesting.
Do you guys know there is an obscure rule in
Yeah.
the rules of the AFL that there are like, so if points are the same, percentage is the same.
Is it just
I
more
think-
goals?
That's
No,
average
I-
for against, isn't it? For and against.
I think if the first 4 or 5 layers are all the same, do you know what happens in the event and how it's determined who goes through?
No.
Oh, I've heard it, but I can't remember it. What is it?
The executive general manager of football flips a coin.
No fucking way.
It's rule 2, something like
my,
it's in the rules. It's like 2.5 or something. I got to look it up.
my
yeah.
God.
Okay, so
I think if the 5 layers are met and they're all equal, then it's a flip of the coin.
Okay. Well, we just scrap that and just say, well, they verse each other.
Nah,
trying to find-
you're top 8, mate. Nah.
I'm trying to find articles from the year 2000 about if there was any backlash, but I just can't find.
Yeah.
I just can't find anything.
So, can you imagine going to a coin flip? Like, just think about it.
Can they sell? The AFL will sell tickets at the
100,000
G, and 100,000
G.
people will turn out to watch this, and they'll charge $45 per ticket. The AFL. Just watch that.
Can you imagine living in? I mean, listen, we live in an infinite world with infinite possibilities, so everything in theory has to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
See, if that happened and we made the 8 through that and then won the flag, big thumbs up. Don't mind that. We've had bouncers go the wrong way, all this sort of stuff. But if a coin toss goes our way, baby, I'm a happy man.
Imagine that. Now the
So-
AFL's corrupt. It's a weighted coin.
I'm looking at,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the 1999 final series when it was just the top 8, so no top 4. So first versus 8th was Essendon at first versus Sydney 8th, 123 to 54.
Good final.
So that was a qualifying final, and that was so the gap there was Essendon had 18 wins and Sydney had 11, so they were not matching it with Essendon, and then get done by like 70 odd points, and it's pretty much the same like Brisbane and Carlton. So Brisbane 3rd, Carlton 6th in 99. It was 138 to 65.
Yeah.
But then obviously Carlton get into the grand final after that.
Yeah.
But you can see like that why they brought the top 4 and why it would be more of an advantage for the top 4 teams to play each other, the best of the best. As
And I mean,
opposed
it's
to,
also the double chance. So
yeah, and a double
like-
chance as well.
yeah. Interesting. Good topic.
Okay, I've got the rule. Can I read? Do you want me to read it out?
Yes,
Sure.
yeah.
Where 2 or more clubs at the completion of the home and away matches have accumulated the same premiership points and have the same percentage, the following procedure shall apply. The position of the tied clubs shall be adjusted by accumulating the premiership points awarded to the relevant clubs as a result of the home and away matches played between them, and placing the club with the highest accumulated premiership points first as between them. Where the premiership points accumulated by the relevant clubs remain equal, the position of the tied club shall be adjusted by calculating each such club's percentage based on the proportion of points scored for and against each such club from the home and away matches between them, and placing the club with the highest percentage first as between them. And where 2 or more clubs still remain tied, the position of the clubs shall be adjusted by a lot conducted and drawn by the general manager of football operations, so that any club drawn ahead of any other club shall be placed ahead of other such clubs.
That's crazy. So that's saying that the one before the lot So if Carlton and St Kilda, if the home game was 65-95, and then the
Yeah.
away game was 95-65, then it would go to a lot.
Mm. It would go to
Far out.
percentage.
Imagine. Jesus.
Look, very slim chance, but
Yeah,
why
but
don't they
still,
just change the rule? We should never have that. Just play another game.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it's 8 and 9,
Oh,
that's all I will say. But
coming
not 7. No 7 to 10. That's bullshit in my eyes.
we got him.
You didn't get me, mate. You didn't get me. All right, come on. Let's go. Next topic. Let's go.
All right,
chat,
next topic.
good chat.
That was good. Yeah, very good, very good. So let's predict the season.
Yes.
We're going to do the ladder predictor, ladies and gents, with 3 of us here live for the next couple of rounds. We're going to find out who wins the premiership in 2024, one by one.
Okay.
Oh wait, I need to reset this. Oh,
It looks
shit.
like you already did it.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Ooh,
Oh
compromised.
shit. It's like my anyway. So Friday night, Sydney, Collingwood. Jake?
All right. I'm gonna go with Sydney. Sydney to bounce back.
I'm actually tipping the Pies here.
That's
Yep.
fair.
Yeah,
My boy.
yeah. I
Also,
think they
we're
travel
voting. We're doing votes on each.
Well, it's between the 3 of us. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Brisbane Giants at the Gabba.
Brisbane.
Brisbane North Eagles
North.
at Blundstone.
North, yeah.
Back to back,
Yep.
baby.
Geelong Freo at Optus.
Frio.
Good game. Freo and Optus might have
Yeah.
a bit of. I don't think Geelong really.
They'll be
impressed.
pissed that they lost. They shouldn't have lost to the Bombers.
Yeah, it'll be Freo.
Frio.
Okay. Well, for what it's worth, I'm tipping Geelong, but Freo wins because 2-1. Essendon, Gold Coast, Marvel Stadium.
I think Gold Coast bounce back.
I think Essendon. Weirdly,
Yeah.
I think that little
This
bit of hope.
reminds- Yeah.
I think
This
they're
reminds
back.
me when I think we beat the Saints in 2021 and then lost to the Suns at Marvel, finals on the line. Or maybe it was lost to whatever. I think the Suns.
You want the Suns anyway. I don't think.
I want the
I don't think
Suns,
you-
but also I just
you don't want
think the
Essendon, do you?
Suns.
Yeah.
I'd love to play Essendon in finals.
Port.
Melbourne, Port at the MCG.
Port.
Port. No way
Easy.
Port lose after what they did to Sydney.
Nah.
And Melbourne are
No
just.
chance. No
Yeah,
chance. We don't even need to hesitate there.
Okay. Whoa. Carlton Hawthorn.
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 Yeah.
Sorry, Terry.
The form line's there, and they should have beaten GWS as
Oh,
well.
we lost by a
They
kick.
cooked it. Yeah, but you played only 15 minutes of that game, really.
But
They've
Hawks
played,
are.
they've played good for 9 weeks.
Yeah, Hawks are incredible. at the moment.
The body of
Just
work is there.
Yeah, we was lost.
Carlton by 40. Anyway.
Same.
Is that your actual tip? Blues by that much?
Blues, just Blues.
Is Kerno going to
Oh.
play?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
He'll soldier
Hawks,
through.
Hawks anyway. Saints.
Saints, Richmond, Marvel.
Saints.
That yeah.
It's not even one we need to really slow down on. You can for dramatic effect if you'd like, but
Ooh.
is this is gonna? I've said too much this week. That's gonna backfire.
Ooh.
Fiery Jake.
Be careful there, mate.
Yeah, I know. And the Dogs. I think the Dogs are with Brisbane the most informed side. I don't think we can. Although
I'm
it's
gonna
not
tip-
one. It wouldn't surprise me if Adelaide got up for
Yeah,
it. You know?
it wouldn't surprise me if Adelaide. I was going to tip Adelaide this week.
I was
Adelaide
going to
overall.
tip. I think the Dogs have gone and smashed how many teams away from home lately? Like their away form is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, and they've got Jamara in amazing form. The future Brownlow medalist. Like, yeah, we'll tip
2-1.
Adelaide, but it's going to be the Dogs.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll clip me on that too. Next game,
Wow.
next round.
It's a bit feisty tonight. Jeez.
I was just near
Essendon,
my bedtime.
Essendon, Sydney at Marvel.
Sydney. Oh, at Marvel.
At Marvel.
Sydney. They
Sydney.
have to,
okay.
don't they?
Losing
think-
to the Pies on Friday, they have to beat Essendon.
See, I think Essendon will beat. Actually, what did we do in the last one? We did the Suns.
Yeah, I
I
would tip Essendon personally.
Really?
Yeah. Like Essendon's that kind of team that just doesn't make sense when they win.
Yeah, that's
But-
true.
2-1. If you're tipping the Swans, then fair.
It really depends on this week, but yeah, I can't know until I know. So just go Sydney.
Okay.
There's
Gold
some-
Coast, Melbourne at People's First Choice. People's
Gold
First Stadium, not People's First Choice, but yeah.
Gold Coast.
Yeah, Gold Coast.
The Coliseum. The Coliseum at home.
Ooh, this is a good
GWS
one.
Freo at
Oh, this is
NG
a
Stadium.
really-
I think
I think. Fuck, but I think Fremantle.
I would tip the Giants here.
yeah, I'll tip the Giants. Just
Giants it
like
is.
in under a kick. Yeah.
Collingwood, Brisbane, MCG, Pies
Brisbane.
just to stay alive.
Nah, it's Brisbane at
I'm
2.
obviously going Pies. I think
I
we
would
win
tip
all
the Pies too.
Really?
I think they've got one more.
You're
more charge
disregarding Brisbane, who are
left.
like
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I think people are disregarding Collingwood. That's when Collingwood are at their best, when everyone doubts them.
backs to the wall.
Brisbane will do it.
Okay. Port Adelaide,
Port.
Yeah, I would have said Port too.
Saints, Geelong,
Woo!
Marvel Stadium, the big rivalry game.
Geez, this time last year we beat them there. This one's hard to gauge. I mean, I know you'll both tip Geelong just for the sake of it, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if we won that. I mean, I'm tipping Saints, but
Yeah,
the
I'll
most
tip Geelong.
recency bias means you'll tip the Cats.
I'm tipping Cats.
I'll tip the Cats by
Yeah, we'll win.
160.
We'll win. Don't worry, Terry. We're gonna tank that game so we can get the job done in the next round.
Can't wait. Can't wait
We'll
for
see.
Tim Membry to kick 7.
Yeah. The ladder's looking
Western
good at the moment.
Bulldogs, North Melbourne, Marvel Stadium.
Doggies.
Yeah.
I was
I
waiting
think
for Terry to
North-
be like, waiting for Terry to be like, actually, I think the North might actually get that.
Yeah, I
No.
think the
I know.
Wolves.
Jake, just because I don't live in your rally doesn't mean that, I'm wrong.
Hawks next one.
Hawthorn, Richmond, MCG.
Hawks.
Yeah.
Even though is that Dusty? No, that's not Dusty's farewell, is it? Next week.
Nah, I think that's the week after.
Yeah.
And then Carlton, West Coast, Optus.
You know,
Carlton. I really want West Coast to win, but it'll be Carlton.
yeah, I'm the same. Carlton.
Might just bump that margin up.
It's not you.
The only margin that we do is Carlton by 100 points.
And they did it last year or whatever, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Brisbane, Essendon at the Gabba.
Lions.
Yeah.
Carlton, St Kilda at Marvel. This is clearly a swoop Luke decision here because Jake and I.
In all the simulations I've done, Terry, I've tipped St Kilda.
All right, tip the Saints. Geelong, West Coast
Geelong.
at GMHBA.
Ooh, that's Tom Hawkins's. Oh, it won't be his last game, but it'll be his last game at GMHBA, won't it?
Yeah, Cats.
Yeah. Oh wait, is he injured or is he going to play? I haven't watched much Geelong.
I think he'll play.
He'll play. Okay.
Oh, so I tipped Geelong and it's typical against the Saints, but then I haven't watched much Geelong. Unbelievable. Hawthorn
No,
North at University of Tas.
We know.
Ooh. Nah, it has to be
Well,
Hawthorn.
they're good there. They're good in Tassie, Hawthorn.
Yeah.
So North though, but it'll be
Yeah.
Hawthorn.
It'll be a close game, I think. It'll be a lot closer than people think. But
Who'd you
I think
tip?
Hawks just.
Hawks.
Too much
Melbourne
on that.
Collingwood at the MCG.
Pies. Melbourne will be
Yeah.
cooked by this point. They're cooked now.
Yeah, Pies.
Richmond
Jesus.
Gold Coast at the MCG.
Suns.
I reckon
Ooh,
Richmond
oh.
just for Dusty. Just for Dusty.
Oh, because it's
Richmond.
just his lap of honor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stuffed it for his 300th against the Hawks. They're going to do it for his farewell, surely. Get up for it.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter either way.
Nah, I don't, yeah, the Suns, they won't have anything really to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doggies Giants at Mars.
Damn, what a game.
I bet is Mars Bendigo?
Mars
Ballarat.
is Ballarat.
Damn, I kind of wish that was at Marvel. I would have gone. That's going to be a ripper.
I think Doggies.
Yeah, I think Doggies as well.
Sydney, Adelaide at the SCG.
Sydney.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, we haven't had them win a game in this home. Oh, no, we've had them win one, haven't we?
Yeah.
In this run home?
Against Essendon.
Yeah, okay.
And then Freo Port at Optus.
I know this will knock the Pies out, but I think Fremantle.
Yeah, I was going to say Freo as well. Jesus.
And then it's fucking GWS versus Carlton and Hawthorn versus Collingwood in the wildcard round. Let's go.
True.
Fucking go.
True.
Damn.
Sydney Geelong qualifying
I-
final at the SCG.
I think Geelong.
They'd fancy themselves there.
I agree. I
Yeah,
would tip
yeah.
Geelong.
Yeah.
There we go.
Freo Hawthorn at Optus.
Oh, wow.
That's tantalising.
Can't believe you
Yeah.
peanuts reckon that we're going to lose 2 or 3. Fucking hell.
No,
Fremantle.
yeah.
Hey, it is what it
Fremantle,
is.
yeah.
The game,
I had
the
you-
rules are the rules.
Yeah.
We have a fair and equitable system with three tips. So, did you say Hawthorn?
I said Freo. At
Freo?
Optus.
Yeah, I think Freo. I think Hawks.
Yeah.
probably-
They might be
That's
shot.
their-
making second.
That's where their run ends. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Also,
We've
we'll
seen that
rematch
final.
the week
They're taking each other
after.
again. Yeah.
This would be at Marvel, right?
yeah.
Would,
Oh, you'd think so, but who knows?
I think
Because currently there's no game at the MCG in this first week, so they probably just put it at the G anyway.
oh shit, you're right.
Lack of big teams in the finals.
I
Has to be
think I would.
Fuck, Giants are good. I think doggies though.
Yeah, I think the Dogs could. They got that feeling again. They could do it outside the top 4.
Yeah, what is it? 2017?
Nah, 2015,
16?
16, I think.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16, yeah.
And Brisbane. Brisbane
Brisbane.
toy with Port every time.
Yeah.
Something about them, they smash them.
All right. Sydney Freo at the SCG.
I think
Surely Sydney, right?
Sydney's
gotta
I
be
think
Sydney.
they start getting like Papley back and stuff around this time.
Yeah.
Port Doggies at Adelaide Oval.
I
You guys have said it all year.
still think doggies. I think
Yeah,
doggies.
Doggies. Yeah.
They'll believe.
See, Ken's final game?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then the prelims, Geelong, Dogs, MCG. Wait, would this be at the MCG or would this be in Geelong?
That'll be
with
MCG.
with their 40,000 people stadium.
Nah, that'll be MCG. I think they'll push for Geelong, but I think the ticketing, the Dogs fans, they'll be up and about. They'll get easily 80 plus there, or 70 plus probably.
Yeah.
Fuck, that'll be a good fucking game.
I think
would-
the Dogs.
Yeah, I was gonna say the dogs.
At the G. Okay, well, yeah, you both hit the Dogs. Okay.
And I'm going to go Brisbane.
Brisbane, Sydney, Gabba, prelim.
Brisbane.
Gabba.
I think Brizzy at the Gabba.
Yeah. Yep.
And from a neutral, I think Brisbane v Dogs right now would be such a good watch.
It would be what their form is at the
I
moment.
think it would be what the form is, the best two currently.
Yeah.
And then who would win the flag, boys? MCG.
Finally, Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be an awful grand final. Brisbane by like.
I mean,
43.
Brisbane, it wouldn't matter who they're playing. I think Brisbane probably would win the flag.
What do you mean there'll be no Carlton in finals, boys?
Nah, look. Yeah. That changes if you just beat Hawthorn this week, right? Do we tip you against Hawthorn or not? No.
No, tipped Hawthorn
So,
and then tipped.
What if we
then
change,
tipped-
irrespective of the Saints game, if we tip you against Hawthorn, what happens on the ladder? Because Hawthorn will go down, you'll go up, and you're in, right?
Yeah.
We would.
Like
This is
that's-
what would happen. It would go like
That's
this.
more pressing. Like this, yeah.
Hey.
See, so you beat Hawthorn this week.
Fuck,
The rest will take
doggies
care of
Carlton
itself.
would be huge.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That would be at
We-
the MCG.
And who would you tip swoop currently? I'd go Dogs.
You know you're tipping Carlton at the MCG in a final against the Dogs.
Against the dogs.
Currently, right now, we're talking.
You got to
In the-
predict that things will change as well. You
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
give-
assuming you might get better.
If Carlton make finals, they'll win their
You'll be
first
up and
game.
about, obviously.
Yeah, they'll win the first week.
Freo to
against
beat
the
the
Dogs.
Giants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing this again. Yeah.
Semi-finals, Swans.
City. How did you guys go against Port this year?
We beat them in Adelaide for the first time ever.
Yeah, that last
yeah.
quarter was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just do that again, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the dream ends. Cats.
You think this will be
Brizzy.
the Cats? Okay.
Yeah. Cats Brizzy.
Oh my God, Carlton just.
Oh,
beat
boys.
us.
Oh, well, there you go. Well,
Oh my God. Holy shit. That's incredible. What an incredible run.
Yeah, that's that. That came from nowhere, to be honest.
yeah.
All right.
Look, I just needed to pick me up, all right? I just needed
Yeah,
to
nah.
pick me up.
That's good. We should
hey.
next Tuesday.
Watch how inaccurate that's going to be.
We'll go
Just
through that
in
next
3
Tuesday.
weeks' time, it's going to be nothing like what we just predicted.
We'll do it every week. How about that?
Yeah, done.
Yeah. Well, I'll screenshot what we've done, and then we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
See how close we got.
So a short and sharp show, lads. I reckon we call it.
Oh, we've got to go our locks of this week at least, right?
Oh, okay,
Oh,
fair.
yeah,
Sorry.
definitely gonna do
Locks
that.
of the week.
Let's see. Sydney. Ooh.
Oh, my lock is going to be Fremantle over Geelong
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
at Optus.
You know what? I'm going to go down swinging.
Your lock's Carlton, isn't it?
Carlton.
Yeah, I was gonna lock Collingwood last week, and I thought, nah, because that's gonna get clipped. I can't be fucked. I can't be fucked with the clip.
Yeah. No, I'll back the boys in. I mean, fucking hell, man.
Have to, right? Like they have to win.
For fuck's sake. Like, I think I'm one. I'll tell you now, I'm on the edge. They're one more loss away from losing me.
Well, someone just said in the chat, I can't see it now. If Carlton don't make finals, Voss's job is on the line, which I don't think it would be.
Oh man. Just yeah.
I think you don't think about that yet.
Yeah.
There's plenty of football still.
Yeah. That's my lock.
Bulldogs over Adelaide would be my lock.
I like it.
Yeah. What were our locks last week? I can't even remember. I didn't lock Saints against the Lions, did I?
You definitely did. You definitely
I
did.
definitely did. I can't remember, to be honest. I think I've erased that from my memory.
Pretty sure I did.
Oh, that's right. And
I did Essendon.
Oh, you did
did.
Essendon.
Remember?
That's right. Yeah.
It was like you only go one way after you get called dog shit by your fan base. The only way is up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did. That's right. I tipped Carlton on the show, but in my actual tipping, I tipped Collingwood.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
He lied on the stream.
You lied on the street.
Well, I'm off to watch Jake in his car, saddle biscuit ass to cheer me up. Now, mate, Pommy, I reckon you just go cuddle your wife. What do you reckon? Do that, huh? Come on, mate.
You got to admit, though. I mean, I'm
make a
sure
cuppa.
don't lie. Did you guys tune into the fan cams on Saturday night, even for like 5 minutes?
No, I was out drinking till 4
Nothing.
o'clock. So.
Didn't check in at all.
Nah.
Oh, maybe I'm.
I
just-
genuinely thought
wrong
McGovern
too.
was kicking that. I thought he was going to kick it. I thought
He
it was
kicks
done.
where he wants. He kicks where he wants.
It's almost like he meant it, you know? It's weird. What did the Pendleburys pay him?
I'm fucking hearing this from fucking Jake. I fucking had enough of this.
I'm not taking anything. I'm not trying to stir you. I'm just saying it was. He's generally a pretty good set shot, isn't he? No,
Didn't he?
I
You know what's
would.
funny? You have pub talks with Carlton supporters. And it's like, oh, who would you want taking the kick after the siren? I reckon
Like
most
even-
of us are saying McGovern.
Yeah, well, Cripper's reaction. Everyone's talking about that. He looked very happy that it was McGovern taking it. So, yeah, I'm not trying to say anything bad. I think out of everyone in the team, maybe Charlie's probably on his day a very good set shot. Like he'd back him in easy.
Yeah.
That's
But-
just how it is.
That's how it's been written.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Let's just see if that's how it's going to be.
All right.
Nah, I don't
it's
think
going to
you'll
be a
be
good week. It's going to be
Lads.
a good weekend.
Thanks for the night, ladies and gents. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Tuesday.
See you then.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Up to Maggie.